I've had this for a bit now, and a few people ask me about it, so here is my take. If you have a garage door that you use every day and you are tired of a loud opener, or you want a way to check your garage door when you are not home, this is basically who it is for. It is also for anyone who wants the normal stuff to just work, like the remotes, the wall button, the keypad outside, and the safety sensors, without having to piece everything together. When I opened the box, what stood out to me was that I did not have to go hunting for extras. I had 2 remotes right away, a wall control, the safety sensors, and an outside keypad. That matters because a lot of the frustration with garage door openers is not even the motor. It is the little stuff. You get everything mounted, then you realize you are missing a keypad, or you only have 1 remote, or you have to reuse an old wall button that feels worn out. With this one, I installed the system and moved on. This unit feels solid in the hand when you are handling it during install. It is not some feather-light plastic box. The housing feels like it can take a little bit of real garage life. Dust, temperature swings, and the occasional bump while you are up on a ladder. The included controls also feel normal and sturdy. The buttons are not mushy, and nothing felt loose out of the package. Installation for me was straightforward, but I want to be honest about what that means. I am not a professional installer, but I am comfortable with tools, and I have installed an opener before. From start to finish, I was done in about 45 minutes. The instructions were clear enough that I was not guessing, and when I wanted a visual reference, I found a couple of videos online that matched what I was seeing in my garage. The only part that slowed me down was taking my time with the sensor alignment near the floor, because if you mount those a little crooked, you end up troubleshooting something that should have been simple. Once it was up, daily use is what I actually care about, because you touch this thing almost every day. The main difference I noticed right away was the sound. My old opener had that rough, grinding kind of noise that you could hear through the house. With this one, the door still makes normal door noise, like the rollers and the track, but the opener itself is much quieter. Late night or early morning, it is less likely to wake someone up, and it just feels less irritating to live with. The motion is also smooth. The door starts and stops without that hard jolt I used to get. That does not just feel nicer, it also makes me think the system is not slamming the door hardware as much. I cannot promise what that means long term, but day to day it feels controlled and consistent. Now, the smart features are the reason a lot of people ask me about this model. In real life, what I use most is checking whether the garage door is closed when I am already away. I have had plenty of those moments where I am halfway down the road and I cannot remember if I hit the button. With the phone app, I can check the status and close it if it is open. That is the kind of feature that does not sound exciting until you use it a few times and realize you are less stressed. The setup for the phone connection was mostly smooth for me. It connected through Bluetooth during the process, and then I got it on my home Wi-Fi. When it is working normally, the response is quick enough that it feels like a regular remote, just on your phone. I will say I did have a couple of small hiccups with Wi-Fi during the first couple of days. Not constant problems, more like one of those moments where the app took longer than expected to update the door status. In my case, it settled down after things were fully set up, and after I made sure my wireless router signal was strong in the garage. Garages are not always friendly to Wi-Fi, especially if there are thick walls or a lot of metal, so that part depends on your house. I also like the alerts. I set it up so I can see when the door opens and closes. I do not stare at notifications all day, but it is useful when a package is being dropped off, or if someone else in the house is coming and going. It adds a little awareness without me needing to think about it. The keypad outside is one of those things I did not fully appreciate until I had it set up. If I am going for a walk or a run, I do not bring a remote. I can just use the code. It is also helpful if someone needs temporary access. I am careful with that, obviously, but having the option is practical. The lighting is another everyday thing. In my garage, having the opener lights come on automatically makes a difference when I pull in at night. It is not like it turns the garage into daylight, but it is enough to park, grab a bag, and not feel like I am working in the dark. I did not buy a garage door opener for lighting, but it is one of those small conveniences that I notice constantly. As far as reliability, it has been consistent in my testing. I ran it through repeated open and close cycles, including stopping and restarting, and it did what I expected. The remotes have been dependable from inside the car and from outside the garage. The wall control works every time. The safety sensors have not given me false reversals so far, and that is something I watch for because it can be annoying when sunlight hits them at the wrong angle on some setups. If your garage gets direct sun at a certain time of day, you will still want to mount the sensors carefully and make sure they are aimed properly. I did contact support once during setup, just to confirm a detail in the manual. I got a response within a few hours, and it was actually helpful, not just a generic reply. They pointed me to the right section and answered the specific question. That matters because when you are mid-install on a ladder, you do not want a long back and forth. Now, a couple of limitations and small annoyances because nothing is perfect. The smart features are only as good as your phone and your home network. If your internet is down, you are back to using the remote, the keypad, and the wall button, which still work normally, but you lose the away from home control. Also, if you are expecting the app to always update instantly, you might see a rare delay depending on your Wi-Fi coverage. That is not unique to this opener, but it is part of the real experience. Overall, living with it has been simple. It opens, it closes, it is quieter than what I replaced, and the phone control helps in the exact situations where I actually need it. I do not feel like I am babysitting it. It just does its job. To learn more about the Chamberlain B2405 Quiet Wi-Fi Garage Door Opener, please check the comments section. Thank you for watching.